Iran, an assassination that risks complicating Biden's task. The assassination of an Iranian nuclear scientist attributed to Israel risks fueling tensions in the region and complicating the task of U.S. President-elect Joe Biden, who has signaled his intention to resume dialogue with Tehran. Iran accused Israel on Friday of wanting to sow chaos by killing Mohsen Fakhrizadeh, 59, a senior scientist in Iran's nuclear program, suggesting that the Jewish state acted with the blessing of the United States. Washington has not officially commented on the operation, but outgoing President Donald Trump has retweeted an article and comments on the case. Mr. Trump pulled his country out of the international Iran nuclear deal reached in Vienna in 2015, in the name of a policy of maximum pressure against Iran, which his government is determined to carry out until the end of its mandate. U.S. Foreign Minister Mike Pompeo, who has just paid a visit to Israel on Friday, imposed new economic sanctions against 4 Chinese and Russian companies accused of supporting the development of Iran's nuclear program. This administration is there until January 20th and it will continue to implement its policies until the end, recently assured a senior official of the State Department, who requested anonymity. I hope that this favorable balance of power that the administration is trying so hard to achieve, the next U.S. government will make good use of it to push the Iranians to behave like a normal country, he added. Sabotage of diplomacy. But for most American analysts, the assassination of Mohsen Fakhrizadeh is dangerous and weakens the position of Joe Biden, who, eager to break with Donald Trump's unilateralism, said he wanted to offer Iran a credible way back to diplomacy with a view to reintegrating the United States into the Iran nuclear deal. For John Brennan, former head of the CIA, it is a criminal and extremely dangerous act, which risks leading to lethal retaliation and a new phase of regional conflict. Mr. Brennan, who was the head of the U.S. intelligence agency from 2013 to 2017, under the presidency of Barack Obama and while Joe Biden was vice president, urged Iran to resist the urge, retaliate and wait for the return of responsible American leaders on the international scene. While the United States sent the aircraft carrier USS Nimitz to the Gulf, while assuring that this had nothing to do with the assassination of the Iranian scientist, Germany warned on Saturday against a further escalation of the situation while the United Nations urged the parties to restraint. A few weeks before the new government in the United States takes office, it is a question of maintaining the existing margins of dialogue with Iran in order to be able to settle the conflict over the Iranian atomic program through negotiation, a spokesman for the German Foreign Ministry told AFP. A view shared by Ben Friedman, professor at George Washington University, for whom this assassination will probably help the hard wing in Iran which wants nuclear weapons. It is also an act of sabotage targeting diplomacy in the interests of the United States, he tweeted. This is a scandalous action, intended to undermine diplomatic relations between a new U.S. government and Iran, said Ben Rhodes, former diplomatic advisor to Barack Obama. It is time for this continuing escalation to end. However, some see this operation as a lever that the Biden government could use in possible discussions with Tehran. There are still 2 months before Joe Biden takes office, noted Mark Dubowitz, director of the conservative think tank Foundation for Defense of Democracies. This is good enough for the United States and Israel to inflict severe damage on the regime in Iran and to give leverage to the Biden administration.